With iOS 11, Apple is going to release a huge software updates for its devices. According to their own statement, it will be a giant step for iPhone but a monumental leap for iPad. While the final rollout won't start until this fall, Apple just released a public beta which everybody can download. I already installed the iOS 11 beta on my 2017 iPad and took a closer look at the new features. There are tons of new features introduced in iOS 11, especially for iPad. Here are the 8 most important features in iOS 11 for iPads. A huge new feature is the new dock, and that's one of the best new features in iOS 11. The new dock that on an iPad now works similar to the one in macOS. You can place any app in there and the algorithm is even suggesting you a couple of other ones depending on what you're doing at the moment. You can access the dock anytime by swiping up from the bottom. Yes, that even works while you're using an app. You don't have to be on the home screen. Another huge improvement is the multitasking. Apple has been offering us some limiting multitasking capabilities in the past, but now we're getting a huge improvement. While using an app, you can swipe up the dock and drag any app next to it. You can open it as a slide over or in a slide view. In split view mode, you can change the size of the window similar to Windows 10 or Android. If you load an app in slide over mode on top of it, you can have up to 3 apps open at the same time. The configuration is even saved in the app switcher. Starting in iOS 11, the app switcher and control center are the same thing, placed in the same interface. By swiping up, you get the dock, and by swiping up a bit more, you will launch into the app switcher. Inside the app switcher, you can go back to any app you've opened recently. As mentioned earlier, that even goes for split view configurations. On the right hand side is the control center from which you can quickly control your Wi-Fi, Bluetooth and other settings. You can also control the brightness, volume and even configure it a bit inside the settings, for example to get a shortcut to the timer or alarm clock. The fourth important improvement is drag and drop. Another very important new feature is this drag and drop, and with this you can drag and drop files. As the name says, you can drag and drop pictures or links between your apps. For now it only does work with Apple's own apps, but it should be supported by most once the final version of iOS 11 is available. Drag and drop works surprisingly well. For example, you can select an image with your finger and add other ones to the selection by tapping on them with another finger. While having your finger with the selection pressed down, you can use another finger to open another app and just drop your selection in there. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I've been waiting for a Files app since the first iPad was released. Now in iOS 11 it's finally here. With the Files apps you can browse through all the files that are stored locally on your iPad. As of right now you can only see the files saved from Apple's apps, but others should follow soon. Obviously iCloud Drive is deeply integrated into this and that works very well. Apple promised us to include other cloud storage services as well, including Dropbox, OneDrive and Google Drive, but right now the integration of them does not seem to be final, but at least you have access to them. While you will be able to see all files saved on your iPad, like documents, pictures and videos, you won't have access to the system file. So it's not as complex as similar features in Windows, macOS or Android, and it probably never will be, but yeah, that's fine on an iPad. Another feature is the improved keyboard. While it looks the same as before, it is now easier to type numbers and special characters. Instead of switching through the characters by pressing a button, you can now type an alternative character by swiping down on the key. For example, if you want to type a 7, you just have to swipe down on the U key. That makes it much easier to type passwords. With the Notes app we get a couple of improvements as well. The most interesting one is the ability to scan documents with the camera. That works surprisingly well. You can just take a picture of the document and the app straightens it out and you can edit it, for example fill in a form with your Apple Pencil. Yeah, you've always been able to take a screenshot by pressing the home and power button on your iOS device. That did not change, but now you see a little preview in the lower left of your screen. If you open the preview, you can actually crop the screenshot or annotate it with your finger or Apple Pencil. A lot of competitors offer this, and finally the iPad does too. Yeah, there are a lot of other improvements that Apple is introducing with iOS 11 for iPads and iPhones. These are the most important ones and that make it easier to really get some work done with an iPad. What do you think of iOS 11? Did you try the beta or are you going to? I'm NJ from mynexttablet.com. Thanks for watching.